Yeah, slowly but surely, getting it in.
You bringing sexy back?
Yeah. I see you got the do-rag on today, so you know.
Yeah, I got mountains of yard work to do. So
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah. My Skype hates me.
What's up, Jaime Reyes?
Orale. Too late. I already done my pills. We're good.
All right, good.
Okay, good. Well, I got this today, so I'm starting early.
Nice.
Damn. Wait a minute. It's 11 o'clock here. So what time is it there?
10:14.
10? Oh, jeez.
I got a lot to do with yard work as well. So.
Yeah, well, you can't use power tools without a buzz. So.
That's right. That is correct. All right, ready to go? I'm ready to go. This will come up on the screen here in a minute, but that's fine. So
what's going to come up on the screen?
Nothing, just the Trekcast thing. You can't even see it when we're like put everything together. You can't even see it, so it's like
probably not.
It's not a big deal. So whatever. So, but it is what it is. So. All right, welcome to Trekcast TNG. I am Chad Waldo. With me, as always, is Dan Lombardo and Daniel Reyes. This is the most unpredictable podcast in the universe, gentlemen. We're back again.
Wow. We used to be the most unpredictable Star Trek podcast in the universe. Now we're just the most unpredictable podcast. Period.
That's right.
Up.
I mean,
pretty accurate.
If Joe Rogan's going to smoke pot with Elon Musk on his show, then I'm going to drink Not Your Father's root beer on ours. There you go.
All right. Okay.
It is what it is.
You heard it here first, folks. Chad Waldo challenging Joe Rogan to a fist fight. That's what I just heard.
It'll last approximately 15 and a half seconds, and I'll be dead at the end of it.
No, because hashtag Chad knows judo.
I was...
Is it weird if I try to get a picture with Joe Rogan after?
After, yeah. I did do karate as a kid, and I forget where I stopped, but it wasn't quite all the way to a black belt, but it was close. So
okay. I did karate as a kid too, and I stopped at the convenience store a lot.
As the guys would tell you that I grew up with, that was the whole reason why I wanted to kick everything. So, but it is what it is.
That's the reason, not anger management.
Well, no, there's that too. I have that problem as well. So, I do have to. Oh shoot! I'm totally so running behind, so unprepared.
What?
Hold on.
Uh-oh. I feel like we're in trouble now. I can't wait to talk about Star Trek Discover Our Feelings today.
Now you can probably see me better now. I didn't have my studio lighting on, which is basically
much better.
A $9 can light with an LED in it from Home Depot.
I'm surprised you don't add a clapper to that and just make it like that.
He has studio lighting, and I reposition the van so I'm not facing the sun. That's
in a van down by the river.
I've got a table lamp. That's what I use. It's all good.
There we go.
There you go. There's the Trekcast logo.
Nice.
For anybody who can see it, because sometimes it gets cut off depending upon how we do our video. But hey.
Yeah, I see Cass. That's what I see.
Yeah.
C-A-S.
Yeah. Cass.
Good enough.
But
make sure we are all centered in the middle of our video. If you didn't notice in the last YouTube video, some of us got our heads kind of cut off from sides.
It's because I bob around like Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
It's tough because when I look at the little icon showing me, I'm letterbox, but I'm sure I show up to you guys, I'm in a square. So I'm pretty much centered, I think, right?
Well, it's funny because the way it records, like right now,
am I off?
You're off to my left. Yeah, you're off to my left.
Yeah, but in my box, I'm still on screen. My cheek.
I just thought of something and I can't unsee it. Dan looks like the lady from the pancake mix.
Aunt Jemima.
Wait, hold on a minute. Who's recording? Who's actually recording?
I think we both are.
We both are.
Okay. So Daniel, on your side, where am I?
You guys are always center, and then I'm like in some weird little box. I don't know until later.
No. I mean, am I on the left or am I on the right?
I honestly do not know right now.
Oh, you can't.
The
All
way
right,
mine
Chad,
splits up.
on your feed, what is it?
On my
What does it look
feed,
like?
I'm in a little box up at the top,
Yep.
and it's overlaid like picture-in-picture in your box, Dan, and then Daniel, you're below that. But yet, when I
Indeed.
watch it back, it'll be
So
1,
so am
2,
I
3, all three side by side. Now you're looking down at Daniel.
I'm looking at Daniel like Brady Bunch style. So Daniel, look up
Yeah.
at me, dude.
It won't
What?
come out that way because we're going to be side by side, so I'll have to look this
I know.
way to talk to one of you.
This is only a joke for Chad.
It's,
All right. So hold on. Who am I making out with right now?
Isn't your wife Jennifer? I hope that's who it is.
On my screen, you were making out with Chad.
Well, all right. I mean, I was hoping for Daniel.
Oh,
No. I guess I'll settle for Chad.
Many do hope for that.
Many do. Many do.
Get in line.
All right. So if anyone is still listening at this point,
No
this is
kidding.
Trekcast.
No kidding.
We, we're gonna talk some Orville. We're gonna talk some Star Trek.
Yep.
But I think first we're gonna go to Daniel with the news. You got some news for us?
Attention all hands, it's time for Star Trek news.
You got some news for us?
Yeah. And this isn't bad because I just woke up half an hour ago.
All
So
right.
here we go. It's just painfully true. So the first story comes from Popular Mechanics, and the headline is Star Trek DS9 finally gets the documentary it deserves. My favorite part is the subheadline, which is What We Left Behind. The crowdfunded documentary is finally here. Its long-awaited return to Terok Nor. So somebody knows their crap that wrote this.
Yeah.
Basically, what it's saying is that finally we're getting a theater release date. It's going to be one of those Phantom events, is what I understand. At some theaters, we don't have a list yet of which ones, but it'll be May 13th. It'll be one night only, is what I understand. After it does the theatrical debut, there will be a release to any Indiegogo backers.
Yep.
And then after that, after some time, there will be a wide release, is what we're learning. It's also going to include those HD clips that we talked about.
Yep.
So that'll be neat. And I love that they kept calling it Terok Nor in this article. So that made me happy. Yeah.
So is there a way that we can maybe email a nerd alert to Popular Mechanics for their use of Terok Nor? Would they even know what it was when it arrived?
I feel like it's fitting because it is Popular Mechanics. I feel like there was a fight in the newsroom to write that story.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
Well, yeah, because that's not where you'd normally go for your Star Trek news.
Yeah, you would
Popular
normally
Mechanics.
go to Popular Temporal Mechanics is where I get all my Star Trek news.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We will get there.
Jets publication, right?
Yeah. Our next news story comes from TrekMovie.com, and it's Atmos Effects announces Star Trek digital decorations. So the company that makes those decorations where it's like a projector that shoots up on your house, and now it looks like you have lights on it for Christmas. Yeah. That same company is expanding out, and now they're going to include Star Trek. So what they're creating is virtual beam-ins of essentially cardboard cutouts. So they're not cardboard cutouts; they're images. So the idea is you use your projector, you turn it on, it beams in, right? So like it has the beam-in effect, and all of a sudden Captain Kirk is there, or it looks like it's mainly focused on the original series.
Oh, it is.
So
Okay.
Spock is,
Well, that totally destroys Mike Medina's thing, because I know what he would want. What he would want really badly. He would want to beam Michael Burnham into his kitchen with him all the time.
all
He
the
would
time.
want multiple Burnhams.
See,
He wouldn't
the
buy
reason
one.
why it's
He wouldn't buy
only TOS,
two.
I
He'd
imagine.
get three.
is you've got to buy the expansion packs down the road that are clearly going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on there. Yeah,
So these are holiday decorations.
these
But
are
what-
decorations, period. It's a company
Okay.
that makes holiday decorations.
All right.
Yeah. So if you really want to have Spock just stare at you while you watch Jeopardy, that can happen. You can buy these as high definition digital downloads for $39.99.
Oh, okay.
You can buy each individual clip. So if there's only just one dude you want, if you really just want Uhura, that's only like $10.
Well,
Or you
Uhura's
can buy
not a
their-
dude. But,
No, but-
you know.
Yeah,
But
whatever.
that gives me an idea, right? Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to have Kirk or Spock. But can I get an Orion girl?
Well, I feel like we could all pitch in and get Mike that Michael Burnham, and only Michael Burnham. So that'll be nice. And then there's a special HD projector bundle with the Ensign bundle, they call it. So that's all the characters that are available currently, and that is nearly $240.
So maybe I misunderstood initially. This is for like the interior of your home.
Either way,
You
it's
put it
just a
outside your
projector.
house,
It's
yeah.
just a projector.
Okay. All right.
So whatever you want to do, man. if you want 30-foot, Ben Cisco just plastered along your house, you do it.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, Ben
I mean-
Cisco. I mean, hey.
Who wouldn't?
It'll,
I mean,
it'll
during
be
the
nice
holidays,
to take the painting down at my house.
I celebrate the emissary's arrival the last week of December. I don't know what you guys do.
What was that holiday they had?
Yeah, the
Remember?
one time that they brought. Didn't they only bring that up like one time in season
No, they brought
3?
it up a couple times.
Did they bring it up a couple times? Yeah, it was some sort of
Yeah.
holiday about the emissary, and Cisco's always trying to figure out a way to be gone during.
Yeah. I can't remember whatever. Life Day? I don't know.
No, it wasn't
Life-
life.
I know it's
Life
not. I
Day.
know it's not.
Get the
I just-
nerd
I
alert
just-
ready.
Warning, warning, nerd alert, nerd alert.
I'll just troll Dan. Life Day.
You know what Life Day is, right?
Yeah, it's Wookiee Christmas.
All right, good.
I was about to get kicked off the show.
Wookiee Christmas.
Oh my god!
I'm not wrong. All right, and last one is from redshirtsalwaysdie.com. And the headline reads, Star Trek soundtrack gets vinyl release for Record Store Day. Here's the funny thing about this article I'm going to point out. Record Store Day is traditionally the first Saturday of April, which if you look at a calendar was last week. This article just came out today. So, yay. Whatever.
They're on top
So
of
that
it.
all said, looks like they are releasing a vinyl edition. There's only 2,000 copies of the Star Trek 2009 film on vinyl. It was released on Record Store Day, so it's already been out there for a week and has 15 tracks. Everything that was on the original 2009 CD. So if you're a vinyl collector and you're a Star Trek fan, and those two match up on the Venn diagram, go get this.
That circle overlays that circle right there. That's where you are.
That's where you are. And your name is probably Cameron, and you love vinyl.
Cameron.
You enjoy your vinyl, Cameron. You do you, boo.
Boo. Now I'm thinking of Running Man, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
That's it. I'm done.
Well, hey, we finally know who the last Skywalker is, according to the trailer that dropped a few days ago, and that's Rey.
Do we?
Do we? Do
It's-
we really? I don't think that's her.
I know. It's probably not appropriate to talk about a Star Wars trailer on Trekcast,
it doesn't
but it doesn't.
That's okay. It's general
She's,
sci-fi news.
No. So either she's Skywalker or Emo Ren is Skywalker. Either way.
So I think that whole Rise of the Skywalker, here's my prediction. All it means is the new generation of Jedi to come. Because Luke has passed down the knowledge, and now they're going to start the Skywalker Jedi Academy or some crap like that.
Yeah, they could.
You'll see ads.
Yeah,
Come join
Well-
Skywalker Academy.
yeah.
I mean, they could take it a couple different ways. They could be talking about, could be the rise of Skywalker. Like he's dead now. He's ascending to the cosmos. He's rising.
Could be that he's not actually dead.
Well,
He's talking in this trailer, so
he's dead. Yeah, he's talking like Yoda was talking in the last movie, and Kenobi
Force
talked
Ghost,
in
yeah.
every movie. The other thing could be just they're not going to be called Jedi anymore. he spoke about, the Jedi is dead and they shouldn't come back and they're going to be something different. Maybe they're going to be called Skywalkers. Who knows? I mean,
maybe.
We'll never know until this movie comes out and everyone's thoroughly disappointed and they complain about it, and then we'll know.
All I know is it's got 2 words going for it: Lando.
Yeah.
That's
he
all
looks
I
like
needed.
he's having fun on the Millennium Falcon, doesn't he?
Oh,
he looks like he had a couple too many Colt 45s. He's heavy.
Yeah.
He's heavy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's heavier than he was. He's not.
No.
He's not that heavy.
He's also like, 185. So, I mean, he can eat whatever the hell he wants. He's Lando.
That's true.
And he's old. So who gives a shit? So,
Yeah. He can do what he wants. He's Billy D and you don't question it.
So that's pretty much, with him coming back, that's pretty much everybody that they could bring back, right? Is there anybody still out there that...
Not
No,
really.
I don't think so.
Not really, no. That's everybody you could have because you killed off Harrison Ford,
I mean, they literally brought Tarkin back from the dead.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I don't know who's laughing at the end of the trailer. My bet is that Snoke, but I don't know.
No, you didn't...
It's Palpatine.
No, that's Palpatine. That's Palpatine, because the guy
They've
who
already
played
said
him,
he's coming back.
the guy who played him appeared on stage right after that
Yeah.
when they played the trailer.
Oh, I didn't see that part. I just saw the
Yes.
trailer on YouTube. I didn't know that. Okay, so it is Palpatine.
Yeah, so now they're speculating. If it's a clone of the Emperor, or his spectral form.
What if the clone looks like Skywalker?
What if we come to find out that Palpatine was a Skywalker all along?
What if the whole movie is a Maury Povich episode and it's just, you are not the Emperor?
Well, he just got thrown down a shaft. We don't know if he actually died, right? I mean...
Yeah, no, he did get the shaft.
Yeah.
He got shafted at the end of
He
Return
got
of the
shafted.
Jedi.
Yep. All right, so moving right along. Let's move on. Time for what? Feedback? We got some feedback?
Yeah.
Okay.
Incoming subspace signal. Incoming subspace signal.
I know I do. I don't know about you, Dan.
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything. Okay.
Wow.
Well, I've got two
There's a mad
things.
scramble this morning.
I've got 2 things of feedback, and I'm going to do the first one because it just came in here recently, and it was from James Hanna, and he says, just wanted to give some feedback to some things you said in the recent episode. This is to me at the Chat is Wrong email.
Oh, nice.
It is very frustrating that Discovery doesn't seem to care about the original Star Trek fans, but I don't think it's the J.J. Abrams fans they're catering to either. I think the people they're catering to aren't Star Trek fans at all, just binge watching who will watch anything as long as it gives them an excuse to sit in front of the television for hours on end. Star Trek is just a name they're using so they could their little space show greenlit for production. That didn't make sense. Anyway, I honestly think if they had been able to get this thing off the ground without calling it Star Trek, they would have. I don't believe for a second that anyone in the production gives 2 craps about Star Trek. Also, I agree. Pike is nothing more than a space Michael Scott. He wouldn't know how to follow a gut instinct if it hit him in the gut. He's most definitely not the best captain in Star Trek. He's not even in the top 5. Once again, love the show. Sincerely, James Hanna. So he just ripped it. He just ripped it at that point.
I strongly disagree about Pike, but...
Yeah, I don't think Pike is one of the best captains, that's for sure. But with that said, I mean, he's not a horrible captain. He's just...
Pike is a great space life coach.
Yeah, he's a good manager. I'll give you that.
He's a good manager. That's what he's at.
I will give you
honestly,
that.
for the way they've constructed the show, that's what they need. Is somebody who doesn't get in the way, who just kind of makes decisions, sort of.
Right.
Lets Burnham be
Right.
the main character.
Yeah.
That's what they want, so that's...
And that's what they got, and that's how they wrote it, too.
Yeah.
And it was very evident in this latest episode, just a couple days ago, that's the role that he's playing.
Yeah.
He's playing
Man,
more
we're
of a
dying
parental.
to talk about this episode, aren't we?
We are dying to talk about this episode, yeah. So,
All right.
Dan,
And
where'd you go? We lost your video.
Wasn't there like a song?
There is, yeah. There is. That's the other part of... There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking up some feedback, so I had to go outside of Skype.
Gotcha.
And I think
Gotcha.
It cuts my camera feed when I do that.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, the other bit of feedback that I got, we had a special anonymous donation to the coffee account. And as everybody knows, when you donate to the coffee account, you can leave a comment, and I have to read the comment on the air. And
There was another donation last night, too.
Was there? Okay, so we'll get to that one as well.
Yeah.
But this one decided to leave what he wanted to say anonymous for the. Of course, it would be read on the show, but you wouldn't see it on the coffee account page because I'm sure people go to see the comments as well. And it's a song I have to sing.
Oh, I can't wait.
So, this has to be sung in the pentameter of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I know who this person is. I guess I'm not supposed to tell everybody who this person is, but I'm gonna. If I ever see this person in real life, he's gonna get a gut punch for this. But here it goes. Star Trek, Chad is wrong. Kurzman is who you are. Up your bum, your head so high, like the Kai on Deep Space Nine. Dan is a boss, downing medical pills until gone. He means Daniel.
That's great.
Pretending it's just trail mix. Oh my lordy, thinks he's Neelix. Shuttlecraft van, flip your switch. Dan is broadcasting because he can. Weak signal interrupts the show. Screw it, he's Dan Lombardo.
That's it.
Nerd alert once a week. Dan, Chad, Daniel, time to debrief. Now it's time to sit and listen. It's Trekcast, folks. Assume the position.
Oh, no.
That was terribly awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
that was
you.
pretty good. That was awesome.
Pretty great.
That was pretty good. And I do love the intro we had last week as well for the gentleman who sent that in. That was really good.
Yes.
So that was awesome. Pretty good. Pretty good. So going back over to the coffee account, since I got it pulled up here on my phone as well.
Yeah.
Bump it
I've
Give
got
it a
it.
second. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, it's
ahead.
another donation from Mike Medina.
You read that one. You read that one. I just sang a song.
Well, it's not so bad this time. He's demanding to be an admin in the Facebook group.
That would be the worst idea ever.
I don't think it'd be so bad.
No, probably not. Probably not. It'd be entertaining. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's what he said on his coffee account on his
Yeah,
comment. All right.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I demand to be an admin. That's good.
So
Anyway,
I have a little bit of feedback.
go for it.
Well, it's not really feedback. It's more of a story. I was pleasantly surprised. I was perusing the Facebook group the other night, and I saw someone advertising for another podcast.
Yeah.
So I immediately scrolled down to ask them who sent you, to see if they respond with the correct response.
That's right.
All of our longtime listeners know the correct response is Jordy sent me, and then we will know that they are an actual listener and not just someone coming to plug their own project. So I was about to ask who sent you, and I was pleasantly surprised to see multiple listeners of ours
They're in on it.
asking this person who sent you, and initially he didn't have the correct response.
He didn't know how to handle that, did he?
Yeah, he didn't know how to handle it. And I was Ken. Geez, let me look now.
Like,
Sorry,
yeah.
I have to.
That's all right. Ken
I have
Mills.
Yes, Ken Mills.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Ken, and he didn't know the answer, but he quickly recapped our last show for me. So it's obvious that he was a listener of ours. He just, some people don't go back and listen to all the previous episodes. So he didn't know the response, but he is a listener of ours.
Good,
So,
good.
we left the post up there. He's got a podcast. He agreed to plug Trekcast. He also sent me a screenshot of his Facebook postings where he's plugging Trekcast, and cross promotion. We're definitely down with cross promotion.
Sure, you bet.
So head over to the Facebook group, check out the link. There's links to his show. Also, he does another show. It's he does like a quiz show, like a game show type thing, pop culture game show type thing. So he invited me to come on that.
Oh, dude, I would take you on that.
Yeah. Well, you know what I asked him to do? I said, let's kick it down the road a little bit, because we have been recording every week.
Yeah.
Every week while Discovery is on the air.
That's right.
I'm kind of looking forward to taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
When the season's over, but that we would definitely take him up on that.
That's cool that you mentioned trivia. I played some trivia this week and I won. So I'm down for more.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, next week, obviously the next Thursday is the season finale of Discovery, which means that weekend will be our last review and probably a recap of the season. But with that said, that's also Easter weekend, so
yeah.
So
don't worry, I'll edit. It's okay.
I was gonna say that's gonna be a tough one for me. But after that, we'll probably take a break that following weekend since we've been recording every single weekend. My wife's been asking me, when are we gonna
every other week? Yeah.
When are you gonna go to every other week? So.
Well, is Orville ending next week too?
No.
Oh man. Okay.
No, so we'll still have some Orvilles to go through, but that's okay. The Orville returned, so we're moving back into our topic, right?
Talking about Star Trek in this week's topic. Talking about the Star Trek in this week's topic.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. So it was the Orville coming back after a 3-week hiatus, and it was called The Sanctuary. And we get a return to the storyline about the Mocklins and the women and the persecution and the whole 9 yards. And to sum the whole episode up in a nutshell is there's a lot of Mocklin women, and they're hiding on a planet in a nebula. Because where else are you going to go? Right. Might as well have called it Regulus or whatever. So we get a return to that storyline. It goes all the way up to the High Command or High Council, whatever they call it on the show, for debate, which... Man, they want to put their weapons first, don't they? So
safety first.
Safety first, that's right. So, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that Ted Danson didn't die during the Kaelon attack, because I thought he did. I was under the impression that they killed Ted Danson's character off, but there he was. So I guess he's still not in the good place. But no, it was a good episode overall. The Dolly Parton thing was interesting and hysterical. I asked my wife, I was like, do you think Dolly Parton watched this episode or they got the right? Obviously, they had to get the rights from somebody to do that. But do you think she actually watched it or thought it was funny or something? But that was kind of funny. So I'm sure she watched it. I'm sure she was pleasantly surprised for the royalty check. Yeah, because I remember reading an article a few years ago that her last few albums did so terribly that on the eve of her newest album coming out, she basically made a statement, something to the effect of, if this one doesn't sell, I'm going to stop making music because it'll be obvious to me that no one's interested. Which is really kind of sad to see an artist make a statement like that. But yeah, well, she's not a spring chicken anymore. No. So at some point, you kind of got to just live your life and do your thing. It's not like she doesn't have any money. So
right.
She's not hurting.
Hey, Chad, are you getting a video feed from me?
Yeah, I am. It's a little choppy, but I'm seeing a lot of your hand.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out how to fix this thing because I lost both of you for a while, and then I got Daniel back, and I lost Chad. Now I don't see anybody.
I got all three of us, so we're good. Or Daniel does, I'm assuming. Daniel, can you see all three of us?
Yeah, I see you guys.
Okay. Well,
now I see Dan's steering column.
You have 49,622 miles on your car. Your average miles per gallon is 40. Nope, 15.9. That's really bad fuel economy. But hey, it's 63 degrees there, and you're facing the south.
All right, enough. Trying to fix the show, and you guys are busting balls.
It's what we do, man.
I should have brought a second beer. I'm almost done with this one. I didn't think I was going to drink it this fast. So my recap might start to get a little slurry.
Yeah. Let's go through the recap while Jan works on
Yeah,
it.
so, I mean, that's the overview of the Orville. I mean, part of me was kind of like, oh, okay, we're going back to the Mocklin thing. We're going to hear about that. I was happy they brought up the Kalon stuff again, because otherwise they just dropped it, and they still have Isaac on the bridge without anybody saying anything about it. So,
Right.
It is what it is. It's a very lighthearted show that brings up some contemporary, I guess, drama, if you want to call it that. But it's a decent episode. It wasn't bad. I thought it was kind of getting silly there towards the end when all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and they're having to fight the Mocklin battle cruiser.
Yeah.
And Dolly Parton's playing over all the working 9 to 5's playing on it.
Yeah.
They would have ruined it completely had when that lady was given the old Mocklin lady was given her presentation to the council at Union Central or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what that's called. Union Planetary Council, I guess. But if they would have played that song instead of her speaking it, that would have just killed it. So,
Right.
I was waiting for him to do that, and thankfully they did not. So
there's a couple of things that I took from this episode that I'm not sure make sense, or I'm trying to make sense of. So I think we talked in a recent episode that we didn't feel like the Mocklins were part of the Union; they were just allies of the Union. And it's apparent from this episode that no, they are part of the Union. So it's strange that the Union has their navy, and the Mocklins still have their own navy. So is this Union? I'm starting to think of this Union more like the United Nations than a nation.
That's what it seems like.
Than
that's
a nation
how they treated it,
unto itself. And if that's the case, then does Earth have its own navy that's separate from the Union Navy?
Conceivably
I
so.
I don't know how it's really I don't know. It's a little confusing, I guess.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Don't think too hard on it.
Yeah, that's true. It's a Seth MacFarlane comedy Star Trek clone. So I
Next
probably
thing you know, we're
shouldn't
gonna have
think too hard.
Quagmire on the show. So, but no, it's a lighthearted, don't think too hard kind of show. Although they did try to make you think kind of hard in this one because they really rammed down the whole moral thing during the show again. But hey, that's what happens sometimes. So.
My question is, how long do you think it's going to be until Clyden gets served with his divorce papers? Because
I thought
what
it was
a
coming.
jerk.
Yeah, I thought it was
What
coming
a
this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're setting it up as there being a parting there. So.
Yeah.
But then again, that could happen in season 6. They could drop it for 2 years. But
I mean, what's his name? Bortus made a really good point when he came into 10 forward, and I'm just going to call it 10 forward because I don't know what the hell it's called.
Yeah.
When he came into 10 forward and just started talking to Bortus like Kelly wasn't even there.
Yep.
I was
really
a little
put him in his place.
Yeah, well, I was proud of him for putting him in his place. But I was a little disappointed in Kelly because she was kind of like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not okay. You're the first officer of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what they do. They got I think they do have 3 or 4 more episodes. I think I was looking at the IMDb to see how many more they'd have to do. 3 or 4 more, I think, before they're done. Sometime mid-May, right before Memorial Day is when they're done.
Okay.
So 3 or 4 more, and then that's the season. So my bet would be they kind of drop the whole Bortus and Clyden thing because, man, they've been highlighted in, 6 episodes this season out of the 8?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it feels like. It's like every damn episode. Jalaqua and the peeing and
he's Worf, and if you go back and look at TNG, there were a lot of Worf episodes.
This is true. So
I just can't wait for Topaz to be Alexander, and just have a terrible childhood and hate his dad.
Ruin stuff.
Hey, was Lamar in this episode? Thinking back, I don't remember even seeing him.
I don't remember seeing him either.
Lamar,
the engineer.
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't. But Marina Sirtis was as the new school teacher.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, Frakes directed the episode, and
Yep.
Sirtis was in it. I don't think that's a coincidence.
No, of course not.
No.
Of course
So
not.
is she a reoccurring character now, or is she kind of
She's the new
a
teacher,
one-off?
so well, she would almost have to be if she's the new teacher. And I mean, maybe they don't highlight her every once in a while, but whenever they need to teach her, they're going to have to bring her in. Otherwise, talk about how she's gone. So
Right.
I would think if they're smart, they'd bring her in every once in a while.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch the other guest star that was in this? That was pretty cool.
Yes, it was Tony Todd.
Yeah, Triple T.
Yep.
I don't know who that is.
Warning! Warning! Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
He played Worf's brother Kern.
Oh,
And he's also Candyman.
Yeah, and
The
he
horror
also
movies.
played a Herodian on
Yeah.
Voyager.
oh yeah. Okay.
He
Yep.
also played old Jake Sisko.
Oh,
In the
that's right.
episode,
Yeah.
The Visitor.
Yeah. I just watched
Yeah,
that
he's-
about a week or so ago. Yeah.
And
I just
I'm
didn't recognize the
sure
name.
if we IMDb'd him, he probably played some alien on Enterprise. He was a go-to guy for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. I
cool.
like him. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the Orville. Any other thing we want to take away from that? The visuals continue to improve. I mean, I thought that a lot of visual shots that they did, especially in the open there when you kind of see them going around the Moclan ship, that was kind of cool. We've got some upgraded weapons now. So that's good.
I have to say, the Orville is a very agile ship compared to traditional Star Trek style starships.
Yep.
Thing corners like it's on rails.
Yeah. So, well, you would think a ship in space would. I mean, think back to the opening scenes of Lost in Space, the movie with Matt LeBlanc, and he's flying that little bubble around.
Do I have to?
Yeah, no, you don't have to. No. So- But no, I mean, if you're in space, you can you have inertial dampeners. You can go any which way you want at any given time. Stop, go, boom. There's no need to have these big swooping.
I'm gonna
things.
have to correct you there, Chad. The inertial dampeners affect the interior of the ship, I believe. That's so you don't crash into the wall when they accelerate or decelerate. I don't think that has to do. Yeah, I don't think that has to do with.
That's what I mean. You don't have to worry about the G forces or anything like that.
Okay.
If you stop on a dime and go straight up. That's
Gotcha.
what I mean. With inertial dampeners, you can just be going along, stop, go up, down, over, right.
All right. I misunderstood.
Orient
I
any
thought
way
you were
you
saying.
want.
All right. I
Yeah.
thought you were saying the inertial dampeners allowed the ship to cause the ship to navigate the way it
No,
does.
no. That's like
Gotcha.
saying I'm going to take a time crystal from a planet that doesn't have time crystals and put it into my engine room and jump the ship somewhere. I mean, that's not right. No, I wasn't saying that.
Okay. I see someone has some very strong feelings. Should we just move right into the
Yeah,
We're
time?
gonna
let's
move right
move right
into
along.
it. Yeah, we're ready.
We're all
for
dying
it.
to get
So,
there,
We
apparently.
are dying to get there. All right, so we move right along into the latest episode of Star Trek Discovery. I don't know who directed it. I didn't look that up. I don't care.
You don't know who to blame, is what
I don't know
you're
who. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go that far.
saying.
What was the episode? What was the episode called again? I forget.
Shut up and take it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they don't put the titles of the episode up on the screen.
I think it's like Sweet Sorrow or something like
Yeah,
that.
Sweet Sorrow. That's what it was. It was Sweet Sorrow. So anyway, the whole thing starts, of course, with Burnham giving a voiceover because we're gonna have some emo going on in the episode. But they're talking
Oh,
about
God, we have some email.
Yeah, I know. So that's probably my only.
Get your warm cup of tea. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
our feelings.
Yeah, that's my only like serious complaint with this episode was the constant emo going on. But all right, I get it. So anyway, so it opens up in the evacuation scenes where we see the Enterprise getting right up next close to Discovery, and we got those little arms and lifts kind of coming out for them to run across to get from one ship to the other, which I thought was kind of cool. Discovery continues to have everything that no other ship in the fleet has ever had in all of
It
existence.
looked like those things magicians have. That
Yeah, it's a
They
folding
look like-
cards. Folding cards come out. Yeah, so
It looked like the thing at the airport, the
Yeah.
thing you walk through to
Oh,
get
yeah,
to
yeah.
the plane.
why in the hell couldn't they just use the transporters? I don't understand.
That's what I was
you.
wondering.
I mean,
Thank
they had to come up
you.
with something crazy there, but it was at least cool looking. But anyway, so they're running from control because we have to warp.
We got to run from something.
I mean, yeah. So But somehow the Enterprise is already right there next to Discovery, even though Discovery spore jumped right to Barath and was still there at the end of the last episode. And here we are. I would assume that Barath is kind of a ways away from wherever Enterprise was, but somehow they got there like instantly before Control did. Whatever. So,
Writing.
Reasons. And then, of course, we get the return of the Katra, the galactic telepathic telephone network that Vulcans have. So, Sarek knows that something's wrong with Michael, or something's going on with Michael. And at first I was kind of thinking, well, okay, she's going to talk to him telepathically over long distances like they've done before. But no, later on they just show up. So anyway, but after we get to kind of that opening scene of the whole evacuation thing going on, everybody's going to leave Discovery and go over to Enterprise. We get to see, well, before they do that, Pike says some little foreshadowing. I kind of wrote this line down. Sometimes we know the role we are meant to play. Sometimes we don't. I don't know which is worse, to know or to not know, you know? A little foreshadowing of what he's seen and what he knows. And he hasn't told anybody this, right? So no one knows that he's seen his own personal future. So, but of course, Burnham, instead of packing up the time crystal and putting it away in a little case to carry it across the tunnel in space, decides to grab it and sees their future. And it freaks her out, which it would with anybody, right?
Right.
It's interesting that later in the episode, Jet Reno sees the same vision. So nothing's changed. Even though Michael thinks she's going to change it at some point, nothing's changed. But anyway, moving along, she packs the time crystal up. She runs across the tunnel somehow, and she gets onto the bridge. And we really get a good shot of lot of really sweet shots of what the inside of this version of the Enterprise looks like. And they put a lot of details and a lot of thoughts into this thing. First off, when they get on, of course, you see all the colorful uniforms, red, blue, yellow. I mean, you see them all kind of running all over the place, which I thought was pretty nice, pretty sweet looking.
Which, just to jump in here, I hope that's the season 3 Discovery uniforms. Right there, because really the season 1 and 2 Discovery uniforms just do nothing for me.
They look like Enterprise, yeah.
I don't.
The tweaked up version of Enterprise.
They look like a marching band.
That's true. They do. They look kind of like a marching band. You're right. So maybe that's where they got them from to save money in the first season.
I guarantee that's the design idea.
Yeah. So anyway, the inside of the Enterprise. The inside of the Enterprise, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but the inside of that ship looks more like something I would have seen in Star Wars for the Emperor's room than it does the inside of the Enterprise. All the floors are slick, even though it's got this black and red color going on that I didn't think quite. I mean, Georgia sums it up best when she gets onto the bridge. Even though it's red colors I'm seeing, she goes, orange? Yuck.
Yeah.
But I did like, he gets into the turbo lift. He's got to grab the little handle. You know, the old style handle. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a security feature for like biometric? Is that what they are intending there? That when he says bridge, it's got to be some kind of biometric thing?
No, that's how they operate the turbo lift.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean,
he did it wrong though, because if you watch the old shows, they hold on to it for the duration of the ride.
The whole time. He just grabbed it. That's what I'm saying. He grabs it once and lets go, so it's almost like it's an identification thing. And they haven't done that on any of the turbo lifts inside of Discovery ever. They just get in there and all of a sudden they're moving. No one even says anything. So it's kind of this weird half in, half out thing that they're doing with it. But I thought it was cool. At least they thought to far enough ahead to put that in there. So the bridge itself looks huge. Am I wrong on that? I mean, the inside of that bridge looked gigantic compared to what I kind of pictured.
Well, yeah, it's updated aesthetics.
Yeah, it is updated aesthetics, and that's fine. But it just felt massive. Felt like it was a little big.
I think they also build sets a little differently than they did.
Yeah.
Back in the day. You know, I know for a fact that the TNG set was never fully assembled as a 360-degree set. There was always one wall was missing, and that's where they filmed from. Yep, and they filmed from that angle. Where, you know, they film things differently nowadays. There's a lot of panning shots that move all the way around. So they may have built it, an actual 360-degree
Enclosed
set.
space,
Yes, and they have to build it bigger so that the crew has room to move around in there.
Yeah.
Right. The crew is in the camera crew, not the true
Yes.
crew. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense. I mean, I get that. It just felt like it was kind of large. Anyway, it was beautiful. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Didn't,
There's a lot of interior shots we get of the Enterprise in this episode that are gorgeous.
I'm just glad they didn't put flames on the Enterprise. So
I'm glad it didn't look like an Apple store. Like
like
the JJ bridge.
Yeah. I like the JJ Enterprise, but that's just me. It's not correct, but whatever. It was in a different timeline, so who cares? But but I liked it. So anyway, they set the self-destruct. They go across to the Enterprise. Everybody's evacuated. There's no one left on Discovery. They're going to blow it up. And of course, the countdown goes down to 0, and it does not blow up. Okay, great. Fire torpedoes. And so he fires some torpedoes on it. And guess what? It's raised shields. It's not letting itself be destroyed because the sphere data has now infiltrated Discovery's own computer network and basically trying to save itself. So this is where we get the AI on Discovery 1,000 years from now from the short Calypso. And one of the things they did in this episode is they went through and made sure the last couple of one of the last episodes anyway of this season, that they're tying in the last couple of short treks to make them actually mean something.
Yeah.
So if you watch this episode and didn't watch it, except for one, which we don't know, Harry Mudd might show up in the next episode.
Well, I have a theory. about that. Because I was trying to think back to that Harry Mudd episode and think what could they use to tie that in? And I don't think it's Harry Mudd. I don't think it's that Harry Mudd is going to be folded back into the season. I'm thinking, the other major thing in that episode was lifelike looking artificial intelligence.
right,
Okay, and I'm thinking that's.
and they could pass DNA scans,
Yeah.
which burn them for the suit.
Well, there's that. There's also that we lost a cyborg character this season.
Yeah.
So is there a way that her memories didn't get deleted? They're still in the computer? And can they be folded back into another body, so to speak? A lifelike looking human body? We know that the original actress that played Ariam is still on the ship. Is that Ariam? Was she reconstituted in the future and sent back in time? I don't know. I'm not saying one thing is going to happen. I'm just saying, it seems really strange that she played her in the first season. She didn't play her in the second season, but the character was still there. And now she's still there playing a different character. And we have these lifelike androids that were plugged in the short trek, and that short trek has not been tied back to yet. And I don't know. There's just a lot.
I think they'll leave that one. I think they'll leave that one all on its own. Not every short trek had to be tied back into this thing to begin with, but they made that decision that they wanted to. And I think the Harry Mudd short trek was just a fun one to throw in there. And maybe they'll tie into it in season 3 somehow, right? So, because obviously Harry Mudd's still around. It's not like he's ever going anywhere, not for a while anyway. So I don't know. I did find it interesting though that one of the comments made about these 2-part season finale was how all your canon questions will be answered. That was the statement made by Mr. Magic Blood himself. So.
Mr. Magic Blood.
Yeah, so we'll see what they end up doing. They are trying to tie up a lot of loose ends, and they do it very fast. And one of the comments made by number 1 on the bridge was, I mean, they gave her this line specifically to shut people up, and it was, there are no holograms on the ship, and there never will be. I mean, it's like, you might as well held up a box and said, this and this show is brought to you by GM. Cheerios, a delicious way to start your day, I mean, it was like an advert in the middle of the damn show, but she does it. That's okay. It's all right. So, That's when Burnham, while she's on her bridge after the Discovery basically saves itself, that's when she has her little first, or actually her second vision, and it looks like she almost time jumps while she's standing there, and she lives through Leland coming onto the bridge of Discovery and shooting everybody, including herself, in the head. Kind of a dark scene. And then, of course, she's ripped right back into looking at what she's looking at while she's standing on the Enterprise, and she tells Captain Pike to stop. It won't work. This isn't going to happen. And she gives him a look, and he gives her a look, and at that moment, you know, they both know that, okay, they've both seen something. They're not telling each other. Because he grabbed the crystal, and now he knows she grabbed the crystal. So, I thought that was well done. That was well done. I enjoyed that part. But anyway, that's when they get into the Discovery time jump theory. They do all of this before the opening credits of the show, by the way. I mean, they jammed a lot in like 7 minutes, and then the credits roll for the opening of the show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was a lot, yeah. So we get into, comes back from the credits, we get into... they're all sitting around in the ready room on the Enterprise, I'm assuming. Although you can't really tell if it's the Enterprise or Discovery, to be honest. I have to go watch it again to refresh my memory. No, it was on the Enterprise because there was that nice little shot of that little monitor on the table, which looked like a more modern version of the monitor that was on TOS. You kind of got one little shot of it as it kind of scrolled by the screen real quick, but it was there in the middle of their table, so that was kind of cool. And then, of course, we all know the inevitable. There's a second angel. That's where the red dots are coming from, and that second angel is Michael Burnham because that's where they got the DNA match from. So
I'm pretty sure somebody said that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, not on the show itself, but they're saying it now. Yeah, I know they're saying it now. Yeah. So, and the thing that's funny about that is we're just supposed to take it on faith that if we say it's going to happen, now it will happen. And sure enough, here comes the fifth red signal telling them where to go, which turns out to be Michael from the future telling them how to get where they need to go, and it happens to be Queen Poe's planet. And here we go with our second tie-in with the short treks, the animal girl from the planet who created the process of recrystallizing dilithium. So they spore jump to that planet, leave Enterprise on its own to be chased by Control. Enterprise sets maximum work to that planet. I forget the name of that planet. I didn't write it down. I forget the name of the planet. It doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Whatever. So, Queen Poe, she beams onto the ship, and oh my God, it's Tilly! And here we go with the emotions again. And Tilly's got a bowl of ice cream, and oh my gosh,
she's ready for girl time.
It is. It's hysterical. It's so funny.
Well, I really did enjoy her telling Giorgio that the best part of being queen is not having to take your shit.
Yes, I loved it. I loved it.
That was kind of cool.
That was good. She put her in her place, and then of course she hands the bowl of ice cream to Giorgio as she's doing her calculations, and Giorgio slams it in Tilly's chest and says, "The poop in this bowl is vile." That was pretty good. But in between that scene and her beaming onto the ship, all of a sudden, we gotta let the emotions fly again. And we get an out of the blue nowhere, for no apparent reason, scene between Stamets and Culber. Which, I understand we have to resolve the fact that they're not together, but we've resolved the fact that they're not together 15 freaking times now. And we just have to say it one more time so that the audience knows that these two are never, ever, ever getting back together. They should have been playing the Taylor Swift song while they're saying this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, we get it. All right, they're going their separate ways. Culber's telling him, "I'm going to go on the Enterprise," and Stamets is like, "I'm going to go on a station and do botany or something." I forget what he says, but it's like, "I'm done." So, anyway, so they slam that in the middle of it. Then we get back to where they're back trying to discuss what to do and how to build a suit. We got 1 hour to build a brand new suit, jump Burnham into the future like a rubber band, as Giorgio says. And then we get this funny little equation scene with Jet Reno. And you know, she's always brought in for her snarkiness, and she's always brought in for those little comic relief moments. But they did something smart that I wish they would have done more often. They brought her in for her technical expertise, and she's very dry. She's very to the point. She's obviously her smart-ass self. But she's saying things just kind of very matter-of-fact, you know, and she can pick out what's going on. And I wish they would have used her more in that role. I mean, I don't know if she's going to be around for season 3. You know, you've got Pike leaving, you got Anson Mounts leaving, you got Ethan Peck's leaving.
Well, the show's failing.
The show's failing, yeah. So, but I don't know if she's going to be around or not, or where she's going to go. But I kind of want some more of Jet Reno. I want her to be the chief engineer or whatever, and Stamets be the science guy or whatever. So that's my 2 cents on that. But that's when they figure out that, okay, however much power they pour into this time crystal that Pike got for them, it's always going to be too much. So whoever goes forward in time with Discovery isn't going to be able to come back. So the part about this whole thing that I didn't quite understand is, if she's in the suit and she's got the time crystal on her back and she jumps forward in time, how does the Discovery follow? Is she outside the ship in a tractor beam or something? I didn't understand the whole how Discovery's following that.
From what I understood is, like, the portal she creates or whatever it is, there's just enough room for them to get in there if they hurry up.
Fly through.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think back to last week when her mom got sucked up into the portal, I mean, if you can create that portal and it's big enough, you just fly the ship through it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But isn't she gonna get pulled back to that same time like your mom does, or is it just the future time she gets rubber banded to, or how do these things get set?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. They're making their own rules on this.
She's obviously going to survive the trip.
Yeah.
If she's then coming back in time and making signals for them to follow.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so,
I assume
the drama,
the
drama of, the drama of not surviving the trip. It's just made up drama.
It is. Anyway,
it's nonsense.
Then, of course, Burnham is on the bridge talking about how here's what we're going to do, and I'm going to be leaving all of you. You're all leaving the ship. I'm staying behind to take it into the future. We get this emotional goodbye for the first of like 4 times in this episode.
Sounds like Kai, where you...
Yeah, it's just, oh my gosh. And
my
then, of course,
children.
Yeah, and then of course, Tybo is like, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. I won't let you
do it. But yeah,
I'm not going to go with you, but you can't do it. You know, and it's like, oh my God, man.
I like that your impression is basically Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I can't act and neither can he. So,
It's 2 things you have in common right there.
Yeah, right. So, but anyway, Michael gives her little speech, and then of course the one-liner that gets thrown in there somewhere is "trust the mystery." You know, wow, God, you know.
That's writing code for we don't know what we're doing.
We don't know what we're doing, but it's mystery. You know, we gotta trust it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'll trust my budget to the mystery of where the money comes from too. So, Mikey gives her speech, tells everybody she loves them, and that's it.
Mikey.
At that point when I'm watching this, I'm like, yeah, Mikey likes it. But I love these one-liners from Giorgio in this episode, who's always just so much fun to watch.
She's so good at those.
She's so good at delivering those. And at one point she goes, "You're just going to make yourself a galactic rubber band and you're just a galactic rubber band with a martyr complex." That's what she told Burnham.
Nice.
It's like, yes. It's pretty good. You got a dog coming up to your band there, Dan?
In a lot of ways.
She what?
She's become the audience in a lot of ways.
She really has. She really has. So,
God, I want her to become a Q for no reason.
Oh man, wouldn't she be fun to watch?
Her
She
snark
just screw with everybody.
It'd be great.
Yep. Then we cut to a scene where all of a sudden Mikey's walking down the hallway, and there's Sarek and Amanda. You know, Discovery and Enterprise have been cut off from Starfleet. They can't get signals back and forth. Obviously, Sarek knows where they are because of the Katra thing. But yet, they have the time to get there before Control gets there. Wah, wah. Come on, your Vulcan shuttlecraft cannot fly faster than 31 Section 31 ships, right? So
They borrowed a shuttle from the Orville.
yeah, hyperspeed. Hyperspeed. Anyway, so then we go through this little montage of Mikey suiting up, and she goes out the door after telling Ash Tyler, Ty Vogue, I'm done and I'm gone for like the 5th time. And she's walking down the corridor. She runs into, bum, 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 all the main characters from Discovery's Bridge saying, we are going to go with you, and there's no debate. Get over it. We're done. We're going. Ash Tyler is standing there, but when they all walk off, he's like, I'm not going. No, that's okay. I love you so much, but not that. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. That's what that was right there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
You know,
someone's got to stay here.
It's like he somehow has this devotion to Section 31 and Starfleet. And you're a Klingon.
Yeah.
You're a Klingon. What do you care?
No, just go, dude. You love her. Go. Wait, you love L'Oreal because your hair's worth it. Anyway, so. Then we get back onto the bridge again when the rest of the crew's decided to stay, and Pike is like, well, I won't ask anybody what you're doing, but oh, by the way, since I'm leaving, someone's got to be the captain, and boom, cut to commercial. That's what mine did. That's what mine did. And then it messed it up to where I don't know if he ever actually says that Saru's the captain or not, but when you come back from commercial, it's like 3 seconds behind where they left, and they say, Saru's like, we can talk about the captaincy later. This is not the time for that. Let's get the show on the frickin' road. Thank you, Saru. So Pike gives yet another emotional, emo, sap speech back and forth, and then he leaves. Mm-hmm. So the question I have at the end of all that is, you see these shots from the outside of the Enterprise and Discovery, and suddenly both of those ships are able to carry this complement of shuttlecraft and worker bees and whatever the hell else they are. That looks like, how many do they have? They must each have 50, 60 shuttlecraft and worker bees apiece that have suddenly been outfitted.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's just a ton of them. There's a cloud around the 2 ships almost with so many of them, It's like, that's too many. You can't carry that many of them. Where the hell they all come from? You can just tell by looking at it that there's too many. It's kind of, I don't know why they did that, but I understood the whole comment that Number One made earlier in the episode about, hey, we're going to make it. I've already retrofitted a whole bunch of things. I've already started that process, and because I thought the ship would hit the fan. That was kind of cute. Rebecca doesn't want to cuss, but, it's just a ton of them. And then, of course, the Section 31 ships all jump in right around them. We think something's about to happen, but no, this whole episode has been emo central, leading up to the next episode, being where hopefully something happens. But I'm almost at this point with what they're doing. I'm the little clip we get from the trailer of Mikey making her jump. I kind of think that that's going to happen in the last 30 seconds of the episode, and it'll be a cliffhanger for next season. That's the way they set the whole thing
that's
up.
What's going to happen.
Well, we say that, but we thought Spock was going to show up at the end of an episode, and he showed up in the first 5 minutes before the opening credits rolled. So who knows what they're going to do? But which is good. I like the whole we don't know really what's going to happen. That's good. But damn, I don't know. Lots of shuttlecraft.
So when Pike was beaming out,
that's
Giorgio
the episode in a nutshell. Go ahead.
When Pike was beaming out, Giorgio made it a point to tell him that she is from the mirror universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And his response was, huh?
What mirror universe?
Just as he was dematerializing. So what was the point of that?
He knows. He gave a wink.
Did he?
He know. Yeah, he winked. If you go back and watch it, he winked as he was dematerializing. So what he's saying
so I missed that.
Yeah, what he's saying is I know who you are. I know you're not the actual Philippa that I knew.
But why would she even tell him?
Yeah,
I don't understand why. What was the whole point of that?
Writing, more drama. I don't know. I don't get that.
Red herring, probably. Honestly.
Yeah.
So that we think, maybe they'll put Discovery in the mirror universe. They're not.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do this next episode, right? So, are they really going to pull Discovery 1,000 years in the future and then leave it there, and then Michael's going to go do her thing with. I mean, obviously we can't have all of the last two signals show up in this episode because they're going to pull it right through the portal into time, right? So Discovery's not there, and the crew's not there to track down the next two. Red, man, I don't know. What are they going to do? I guess the rest of the show after Discovery jumps forward is going to take place on the Enterprise.
I just had a thought.
Yeah.
We know from Calypso that Discovery jumps forward. What is it? 1,000 years.
10,000 years. Oh, okay.
1,000 years. Yeah.
We don't know which universe Calypso took place in.
No,
Calypso
we don't.
could be in the mirror universe, and really. If you wanted to hide from Control, that's really the best place. I mean, does Control know about the mirror universe? Does
Sure.
Control know how to get to the mirror universe? I don't know.
You would think it has all the data that Section 31 has.
Right.
You would think it would. So, I don't know.
That's not a bad idea. Just like leave it there. I like that 2 minutes ago we said that, there's no way they're going to mirror universe. Now we're saying, yeah, probably.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I do like a couple of guys in the group were pointing out the obvious, like why didn't they just, pilot the ship into a freaking star? I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Or shoot the warp core with a phaser.
Yeah. Take all the power out.
Good old fashioned explosives still work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An explosive is a chemical reaction. So, the ship would not be able to stop that from occurring.
Yeah. I guess it could erect force fields around that area, but could only contain so much energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at some point you'd overload it, and there you go. And then the thing would just spiral into a star.
Well, the other question is, okay, so the humans are off the ship. The humans are trying to destroy the ship. The ship is self-aware enough to prevent them from destroying it. Why would it ever let them back onto the ship?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I feel like the better question is, how many scenes with crying will we have next episode? I'm going to say 3.
Yeah.
We got more crying to do.
Well, yeah, because now she's going to have to jump from the shuttlecraft bay out into space, because they showed that in the trailer for next week. So she's going to have to do that. And what do they do then? They're going to have another send-off. They're going to have another emo, Michael gives a speech send-off kind of thing.
Does Ash have tear ducts? Because Klingons don't have tear ducts.
Ash does, because it's a human body with a... I'm
going to have to watch his crying.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see.
And is it clear, or is it some kind of color? Will it squirt from the top of his ridges?
They said that we're going to see the beard come off of Spock for the next episode.
Oh, yeah, they did?
They did reveal that, where he's in his blue uniform and no beard, and he looks totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. Doesn't even look like the same guy.
Yeah.
So, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, so that might be your ender, like we're on Enterprise and we're off,
But
I don't know.
If they want to have the ship next season, since we have a season 3 coming, and it's still called Star Trek Discovery, and they want to have that ship, then clearly it's not going through the portal, or it goes to the portal and she figures out a way to come back, and it happens instantly.
Well, there's no reason. I mean, we've had multiple Enterprises. They couldn't just build another ship and call it Discovery. And
True.
It's a Discovery A or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But if the whole thing goes forward the way they've set it up, then Michael's gone. Their main character that the whole show is about and the universe revolves around is gone. I know she's not. So, I mean, what's...
Well, if she does, that's okay.
Yeah. We're okay if Mikey dies.
Again.
Yeah.
We're okay if Mikey dies, but I don't know. I thought it was a good episode. I liked it. There was a lot of that emotional stuff that I could have done without. They went way too far with it because there's multiple goodbye scenes when these characters aren't all dying. If any of them die at all, I would be surprised. But I don't know. Overall, though, good episode. Love seeing the Enterprise interior. Love seeing the bridge. Love seeing the ready room. The turbo lift, all those little things that they kind of threw in there. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool looking. And if they do, I don't know why that keeps going off, but whatever.
Oh, whatever.
And if they do, I mean, they spent a lot of money making that set and making that look nice, right? So maybe they are going to do a reboot of TOS, and that's what season 3 is. Everything happens on the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
I would be good with that, but I'm not sure how it can if Anson Mount and Ethan Peck are saying goodbye. It was a great season. We're done, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're unemployed.
Yeah.
Well, that could be misdirection. Also,
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. It could be. So,
Um.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
if they.
I guess.
I'm not sure if they care enough to go that far with it. But maybe they are thinking ahead because, the short treks, they obviously had this season written out at the time that and knew what they were going to do with it at the time they filmed the short treks. So maybe they are thinking ahead. Last season 1, I kept saying over and over again, either these writers are geniuses or they're complete morons, and they proved me to be fairly smart, right? This season, I wasn't sure what the hell they were, but they've done a decent job of tying things together, I think. Overall, what do you guys think?
Well, it all ties together. It's just whether or not it's an interesting journey.
Yeah, exactly. Or if it's a journey that makes sense to begin with. But
right.
So, but I don't know.
So I guess, are we rating episodes?
Yeah, we've had some people tell us we should probably rate them. I don't know how we do that, other than I give it a thumbs up. It was a good episode. It wasn't a bad one. There has been a lot far worse of this series, that's for darn sure. But
see, I guess my problem with the rating system like this for this show is each episode theoretically is so intricate to the plot. So even if it's a filler episode, you really can't just say, skip it. You know what I mean?
It's like rating. It's like rating individual chapters of a book.
Yeah.
Well, I do recall that back in season 1, they called the first 2 episodes Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, or the first, or when she did the time jump, into after her some time in prison, they called that the beginning of Chapter 2 anyway. So
yeah,
that's a good point.
This wasn't my favorite episode.
No,
but I'm hoping it sets up better stuff. I'm stoked that Leland comes in like the T-1000. So
yeah.
Hopefully that happens. I'm sure we'll see that scene again and start thinking, oh, God, here it comes, where they're all going to die, and then there'll be a twist. So,
yeah. There was also some discussion in the Facebook group about how the phasers function, and how they seem to function more like a JJ movie type phaser, where it's shooting a projectile of energy rather than a beam of energy. And I can't help but think back to, was it Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, where, the phaser could just disintegrate something, and it just turns into nothingness. And, if my phaser had a setting like that, I'd certainly kick it up to that. If T-1000 Leland was coming to me, I would dematerialize his ass rather than shoot holes in them.
They'd be gone pretty fast, yeah. They're underpowered. All the phasers in this series are underpowered. Even the Klingon blasters are underpowered. All the scenes you've seen with Klingon blasters, one shot and you can still keep going? Really?
Yeah.
Or disruptors, whatever the Klingons call theirs, but they were underpowered as well. It was more like a video game. I could take a couple of hits and keep going. I got a personal shield or something. I mean,
yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was a good episode overall. It certainly wasn't one of the best. It wasn't my favorite, but it definitely a very good episode in terms of setting up the season finale, right? And it did a good job of tying in the short treks and kind of tying up some of those loose ends that we all had questions on. But ultimately, I'm hoping they don't leave us with a cliffhanger at the end of this season and let it hold over to season 3, because there's just too much to leave hanging. I'm sure they'll leave stuff hanging because there's too much to wrap up now in one episode. That's the one part about this episode I did not like, which was you have 2 episodes left and you're done with this season. And if each season's one overarching story, then you kind of have to finish the story by the last episode.
Yes.
And they didn't move forward to solving it any in this episode. Instead, they focused a lot on the emotional side of it. And planning of it. So now they have to finish the whole story arc in one episode.
I know we joke around about the crying, but hopefully that means the next episode is very action based.
Yeah, they got the crying out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with that. I mean, it's a drama, right? It's a space drama, and I'm okay with some emotions. I mean, people are people, right? So I get all of that. Yeah, this is how Dan rolls. But
oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the logo or just the words?
Just the words.
Just the words. Nice.
That's pretty good. For those listening and not watching the video feed, that's a toilet paper roll. So that's pretty good. But anyway, we'll see what they do. One episode left, One episode left. And I guess my whole, was this a good season or a bad season thing, kind of hinges on how well they tie it up. If they tie it up the way they did last season, I'm going to be pissed. And they shove it all together in nonsensical ways in one episode and rush it, which is about all they can do, right? We talked about this before. Daniel, you think they're going to leave things open and not tie anything up, because why? But
right, why would they?
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I have no problem. I have no problem with the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger should not be the resolution of this story. If they want to resolve this story, and then in the last few minutes introduce a new story, similar to what they did last year. Last year they tied up, and I know we weren't crazy about how quickly they tied things up, but in the very end, it was, there's another ship coming in. It's the Enterprise, and that was the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What's going to happen next year? Oh my God, it involves the Enterprise.
Yeah.
That, if they did something like that, I'd be fine. But I really want them to resolve this story next week.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it anymore after the season.
Yeah, I'm kind of ready to be ready for the next story. So let's resolve this one.
Let's get some fresh stories. Yep. I wonder, though, if they're going to do the whole, this is how we resolve the canon issues, Discovery becomes Lost in Space kind of thing. That's why we don't have the spore drive. That's why we don't know about it. This is why Spock never speaks of Michael, because...
So season 3 is Discovery Voyager?
Yeah. And they're lost somewhere, and they're trying to get their way back, or who knows, or they can't figure out where they are. Maybe they say, hey, we can never get back, and now we have a skeleton crew. Because these characters are going with her.
Yeah.
So a lot of these characters are going with her. Nan's going with them, which is why we don't see her on.
I mean, that would handle the canon questions, because then
they would.
Discovery's just a lost ship.
Who's Nan again?
Nan, the security lady with the Barzon.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I finally figured out what her name is.
Yeah, I forgot, but.
I don't know.
Sure.
We'll see.
Why not?
See. It'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
It'll be entertaining, right? So, I mean, one way or the other, it'll be entertaining, because that was, at the very least, a very entertaining episode. So
I got my boy Lando back. It's all good.
Yeah. Hey, and we're only a few weeks away from Avengers Endgame, so.
Oh, I can't wait for that just to be okay.
That's the second biggest thing happening this month. Obviously, to me, Discovery's finale is the biggest thing, but that's the second big thing, is the Endgame coming out. 26.
I guess I got to run out and see Captain Marvel before then.
Yeah, you should.
Mean,
you don't have to, but you should. But you should. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's not. Oh my God, a woman superhero! Ha!
it's fine.
We've had women superhero like 20 years ago. Her name was Linda Carter. What the hell? So, but anyway,
I don't think that was the issue. I think the issue was her running around disparaging certain types of people.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. It's a good.
Whatever.
It's a good
I did not see it because of that.
Yeah.
Let me get that out there. I didn't.
No.
Me not seeing it yet is not some sort of protest. It's, I'm a grown man with a full-time job and a 6-year-old, and certain things take priority, like taking him to see Shazam last week.
That was great.
Which I also found is hilarious that Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel. Both of these characters have been around for decades. Shazam as Captain Marvel has been around for, 75, 80 years. And both of these characters get a major theatrical release within weeks of each other.
Yeah.
It was just weird. I'm standing in the theater. I'm standing outside the theater, and the marquee above my head says Shazam, and the one down the hall says Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
You know what I'm excited about? So Tuesday I get checked up by the dietitian to see where I'm at.
Paddington 3.
No.
Paddington 3.
Better than that.
Daniel
Better
gets
than
to
that.
eat solid food for the first time in 45
I
days.
do.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to go right back to the liquid diet on Thursday, but there will be a day of feasting.
Nice. Don't
Yeah,
go
so
overboard.
I'm so
Don't
stoked
go
to eat
overboard.
again.
Yeah. You're looking good, buddy. Don't go overboard.
It's been over 3 weeks right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of liquid.
Oh yeah.
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 I would be
So.
tired of that too, man. So,
Yeah. We'll get
well,
there.
congratulations for getting that far, you know?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big step, man.
Yeah. So, well, is that basically it? Or we?
I guess we're done. That was it.
Yeah, we're done. Go
Good
home.
episode. All right. So if you haven't figured it out already, you need to be following us over in the Trekcast group on Facebook. That's where a lot of stuff happens and goes down over there. We get a lot of our feedback from there. It's a big group. We're getting close to being a little over 2,400 people in that group again. Obviously, you can follow the podcast anywhere the podcasts are played. You can go over to Twitter or Instagram, where Daniel posts the most outrageous and hilarious memes. They're awesome. So they're pretty good. That's Trekcast TNG over on the Instagram, Trekcast TNG on Twitter. And, of course, don't forget to go to our coffee account, which Dan has now pinned to the top of the Facebook group. And I'll probably make a post a couple times on Twitter over the course of the week. Do you make posts over on the Instagram side for that, Daniel?
Sometimes,
yeah.
Yeah.
We probably don't pimp that as much as we should, but hey,
Yeah.
all those who have donated to the show, we really appreciate it. Thank you. Keep
It's
those
going to just
donations
help us
coming.
improve the show, so
Yeah,
please
it
donate.
is. It is. It's going to help us a lot.
Yeah.
So it's how I get my supply of Now Your Father's Alcoholic Root Beer, which is not a sponsor of the show, by the way. No, I'm kidding. We haven't touched any of that money yet. And we probably won't for a while. So anyway.
Tell you what, for the Facebook group to get people there, on the day I eat, I will post pictures of the food I eat.
There you go. There you
And
go.
then that's only going to be in the Facebook group. So come join if you want
Yeah.
to see what I eat after
All right.
not eating for nearly a month.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
gonna
lot.
quit. I'm gonna quit the group just so I can join again to see your lunch on that day.
Perfect.
And of course, all these shows are going up on YouTube now as well. So if you don't have time to listen, but you have time to watch or have it playing somewhere on your YouTube where you're normally at, then great. You can find us over there too. And it's Trekcast with a space between the Trek and the cast. That's how you can find us. All right, gentlemen, that was it. Good show. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
See you, man.
Well, there you have it, another episode in the can. Check us out at Trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews, subscribe to us, we'll get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.